not judge a book by its cover. Are you that naive? Websites versus no website. Either way, we have potentially a simple change to wow your next lead. This is My Online Toolbox, providing weekly quick tips and reminders in all facets of marketing with an objective to help you grow your business with more quality leads. We target all topics pertaining to online marketing with education, strategy, and implementations through the creations of websites. So, what's the plan? Here we are, it's the beginning of the year, and we are asking you, do you judge a book by its cover? And at the same time, let's be real. Do you think consumers? What we want to do is make sure you realize whether you have a website or not is irrelevant, because if you have a website, then of course it's going to be a simple change to wow your next lead. And if you don't, then it's going to be a more complicated change. But the reality is, a change is inevitable. Here we are just showing a client that we recently showed for a different reason pertaining to the Google My Business service area that he had a mistake on. He fixed it and now everything's perfect. But what we wanted to do is just capitalize on the moment to show that if you happen to go to that client today, you would see a wonderful homepage image which was not there just recently. And we're not going to show you what was not there because it's irrelevant. If you go there now, this is how he looks today. But separately, say you don't have a website. Well, at the beginning of 2021, here was a company that has done well for many, many years. And it doesn't matter that he did not have a website because he spent the previous year going through the motions of learning, strategizing, and then accumulating the best of his content that now, if you go to Sack and Fill Construction out in California, you'll find the website and you'll see that the first thing you see is something that is extremely impressive for a home remodeling contractor to have as the first image that represents who he was, but that wasn't there for many other years that he was in business. He was successful, he just didn't have an image. In 2022, this is the first thing anybody sees, and nobody cares about the past. The same thing goes with a company called Valley Woodworks out in Oregon. Well, successful for many years, but they were non existent with their marketing. Not so starting 2022. Just in the last Q4 of 2021, they came to market with this beautiful website. It's simplistic, yet it shows the best of his services today with the best of the locations he targets, and regardless of whether he was found or not in previous years, again, is irrelevant because he did something to make the change. And so, whether you have, which is on top, an existing company that was in business for many years and simply replaced the homepage, or other two companies on the bottom that never had websites and had to come up with the best possible representations they have, what we want you to remember, whether you have a website or not today, is irrelevant going forward because the next consumer who finds you is not going to know much about your past. So if you have an existing website, just take a moment to go to the home page and say, you know what, when I land here, does this really represent what it is? It doesn't mean it's bad. It just could mean that over time we start to add different pages, we make changes, and sometimes we just forget, which is fine. And if you have no website, don't keep belaboring the topic that you have no website. Take a moment to say, fine, I don't have it, stay in business, but do something about it. So by the time 2023 comes around, such as these two companies on the bottom, they now started 2022 and look the part. So forgetting about how they generate the next lead, when that next lead comes, more than likely it will be word of mouth, but instead of them being non existent on the web to be researched further, they now have an image to help support the referral that's coming their way. So remember, it may be a change. If you have an existing website, it's a simple one. If you have no website, it is not simple, but it is a change, and you will simply wow your next lead when it comes, whether it's in 2022 or 2023. Don't be naive, including My Online Toolbox, our homepage at myonlinetoolbox.com. We have now had this particular image on the bottom right for a couple of years now, and it's amazing when we get new clients and we talk to them about how did you find us and we ask them about perception. It's amazing how many people love this particular image, and it's really not a still image, it's moving, but it represents exactly what we want people to see. And at the moment, since every new customer or prospect, should I say, thinks it's really cool, we're keeping it because the consumer who may be a potential lead, who may be a potential customer, keeps telling us they love it. So guess what? It stays. This is My Online Toolbox. Remember to judge a book by its cover. Don't be that naive. Take a moment and just take a step back and just look at the image and say, is it the best of who you are? And if it's good, keep it. If you have something much better, replace it. Remember, the next consumer will not care. Please go to the My Online Toolbox Facebook page and like us there, or go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to us there. And never forget to always be looking for your next quality lead. Have a healthy week, and we will see you next week.